What is up, everybody? Welcome back to DVDs, Nuts, and Popcorn. I am your host, Mr. Tight White, a.k.a. the Physical Media Mac. Now, guys, I was thinking the other day, I used to hate on Dollar Tree so much. And I was laying in a bed of money the other day. And I was thinking to myself, why do I like Dollar Tree so much now? And then it occurred to me, Dollar Tree has indie horror movie releases. It's the place to go for indie horror flicks. So that's it. That's why I go here, to find movies that no one's talking about and to let you guys know about them. Jesus Christ, we had a lot of movies there. All right, guys, let's get into it. It's one of those weekends where you're off work, which, for me, I'm usually off on the weekends. That's basically my schedule. But you're getting so many calls from work and text and emails that you're really not off work, if you know what I mean. Oh boy, now I'm getting a call. Look at that shit. I'm getting a call right now. Motherfucker. All right. Please hold. All right, guys, so speak of the devil. Hopefully, the rest of this video, I won't get any interruptions from work, and we can talk movies for the next 30 minutes or so. Now, I notice the phone's going to fall over in a second. Just that. All right, so what was I going to say? Oh, so I had to grab some tools out the trunk as well and remove the steering wheel from that side and put it on this side. I don't know if you guys noticed that. But anyway, let's get to some of these movies. And oh yeah, let me just mention this. So, from my knowledge, there's been 2 drops in April at Dollar Tree. But I've made 3 videos, which is a record for my channel. I've never made 3 videos in 1 month from Dollar Tree. But it's like, I think 2 of the videos were new drops. And then on the second video, maybe not all the movies were out yet, or they had been picked through, and I just didn't find some of the movies that I found on this time around. So that's why there's so many videos. Like, I literally am finding new stuff every time I go into Dollar Tree. So, pretty cool. Anyway, first movie here we have True Fiction. This is a 2019 film. You can check this out now free on Tubi if you'd like. And let me go ahead and read the synopsis here. Avery Malone lands the opportunity of a lifetime in assisting the world-famous reclusive horror writer Caleb Conrad in writing his latest novel. Caleb proposes a psychological experiment to study true fear with Avery as his guinea pig. Diving into Avery's torn psyche, strange happenings begin to occur in Caleb's remote cabin estate. As the lines between fact and fiction blur, Avery suspects her boss may not be who he says he is, but a killer inspired by Caleb's novels. This was a pretty decent flick. I mean, I enjoyed it for what it was. Nothing too great. I've seen people on IMDb just rip this movie apart, and then I've seen people give it way too high ratings. I fall in the middle on it. I would say it's a 5.5. If for a stretch, maybe a 6, but I thought the acting was good in it. The young actress, I'm not sure what her name was. The gentleman that played the book author, I thought he did a good job in acting as well. And it had some cool gore, practical effects in it. I was kind of surprised by. And if anything, this movie is not predictable. Like, everything that I thought was going to happen, the opposite happened in this movie. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, man, for $1.25, I think it earns a spot on the shelf. All right, next Dollar Tree find here. Now, guys, I tried to watch, as always, I try to watch you know, I'm not talking bad about other Dollar Tree movies or videos, Dollar Tree hunting videos, but it seems like a lot of people that make those videos just kind of procrastinate on watching the movies, and they just buy movies, put them on the shelf, and you never really hear if they're good or not. And listen, I'm the last person to be talking about procrastination. I'm the king of procrastination. But I don't procrastinate when it comes to these movies. But anyway, what I'm trying to say here is I kind of ran out of time. I usually like to watch more of these movies, but I did watch probably about half of them, or close to half of them. But the other ones I won't be able to tell you too much about because I just didn't have time this weekend. Again, work called me every 5 minutes. Next movie here, this is a Blu-ray here of Dead Shadows. This is a 2012 horror / sci-fi Scream Factory release, or under the umbrella of Scream Factory. I don't know how to. I don't think Scream Factory releases the movies. It's just like their collection. It's kind of hard to explain. Anyway, this is also free on Tubi. Shout out to Tubi. Let's go over the special features, Mikey Garcia. We have making of the special effects, deleted scenes, interview with producer-director David Shlolawa. I do not know how to pronounce that name. I'm sure I butchered that. A theatrical trailer and a teaser trailer. Now, What's cool about this is it does have, like I said, this is Scream Factory, so they do some kind of cool stuff. It does have flippable artwork there. So let's go ahead and turn that around. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So this is a, I guess, post-apocalyptic, the kind of movies. It looks like a zombie flick. The type of movies that I would not normally like, but we'll give it a shout. Scream Factory has given us some decent movies from Dollar Tree of recent. So yeah, man, I'm gonna check this one out, and I'll let you guys know. I'll review this in the next Dollar Tree video. All right, next up here, guys, we have a 2020 British home invasion movie, The Owners, which was released by RLJE. This is free on Hulu, or not free on Hulu. If you have a subscription to Hulu, you can watch this right now. And I'm going to be honest with you. The story kind of goes off the tracks in this movie for me. It gets a little bit too crazy, and I wasn't a big fan of the end of it, but the acting is really good in this. Macy Williams is the young girl, the main actress in this movie, and the older couple in this movie that turned the home invasion on its head and become the people that actually terrorize the home invaders, which is really cool, kind of like the Don't Breathe premise, is Sylvester McCoy, which was in Lord of the Rings, and I think he was also the Doctor. He was Doctor Who in the Doctor Who programming. Also, his wife, I think, or maybe it was his girlfriend, I think it was his wife, Rita Chishingham, also does a great acting job in the movie. This older couple is so friggin' creepy, man. I love them in this movie. I think the acting really saved this movie and made it worth watching. I would give a recommend on it. It's just, again, I think it tries to do too much, and it's a little bit confusing to me as it unfolds with the third act of it. I would give it a recommend, though. Definitely worth it for $1.25. All right, guys, next up here we have The Rental. This is a 2020 IFC Films release. This is also a Scream Factory movie. The special features on this are behind-the-scenes featurette, audio descriptive track, and also there is a trailer. Now, I thought this was a decent movie. I was happy to pick this up at Dollar Tree. I remember when this first came out, it got a lot of hype. Now, is it the perfect movie? No, it does have its issues. I thought the cinematography was beautiful in the movie. I thought the acting was very well done. It just had way too much drama in the movie, and it felt like they crowbarred in a slasher elements into the movie, and it just felt clunky to me. Let me read the synopsis on it. Two couples on an oceanside getaway find that their celebrity weekend trip has been turned into something sinister as an intimate threat forces them to expose well-kept secrets, and they come to see each other in a whole new light. So basically, without giving up too much, there's some cheating going on. There's drugs, ecstasy, I think they were doing. So then all of a sudden the cheating happens, and the next thing you know, they're finding hidden cameras, specifically, or most specifically, in the shower heads in the bathroom where the cheating took place. So that's when all the fun starts to happen in the movie. Again, I would definitely recommend it. It's well worth $1.25, but it just barely missed the mark for me as far as being a solid movie. I thought it was pretty good, though. All right, this is a movie that I have not seen, so I will review this in the next video. This is a 2019 Russian film released under the umbrella of Shout Studios, and this is on Pluto TV right now, guys. I think Pluto TV is free, if I remember correctly, so you guys can check it out if you want to on there. And yeah, don't know much about the movie. Let's read the synopsis here. when the end comes for civilization, it will not be terrorism or nuclear war that causes it, but a blackout. An unexplained phenomenon has struck the Earth. Contact between most towns on Earth has been severed. A small area in Eastern Europe is the only location that still has electricity. When military forces venture outside, they discover a shocking truth. Corpses everywhere, in stores and cars, on roads, in hospitals, and railway stations. Who or what is destroying all life on Earth? How long can the last outpost of mankind endure? So, sounds pretty cool. I haven't watched too many Russian films in recent memory, but yeah, the Blackout Invasion Earth. Again, we'll talk about this in the next video. All right, man, this is a tear-jerker of a movie. I know I usually only pick up horror stuff, but every once in a while I'll pick up something else that I feel like might be special, and this is most certainly is a special movie and a really, I think, important documentary. So I can't remember if I mentioned this came out in 2019. This is about, I think the killer's name was Dylan Ruth. He's a white supremacist, or at least he thought he was. And I think he was only 21 years old. And this happened in South Carolina, where he walks into a church, sits down in the back of the church. They welcome him in. And at some point during the sermon, he gets up and he starts shooting everybody. And he kills 9 people. And the movie's about their families and how they responded and reacted to these murders. And what ends up happening is, I'll go ahead and spoil some of this if you guys don't know about it. This is a very high-profile case. I'm sure you guys have heard about it. But in court, when they went to court, I think it was the first part of the proceedings, the Dylan Roof is I think what his name is. He was like satellite on camera, and then everybody else was actually in the church. So he was remote. He had a remote feed, a video feed where he just stood right in front of a camera, and you could just see his face. And the judge let everybody, or a bunch of the people that family members had died, speak to him one-on-one directly, and without any exception, like everybody that got up, without even saying, why did you do this, instantly forgave him. Looked him in the eyes and said, Dylan, we want to let you know that we forgive you. And man, like this is I'm telling you, man, I shed some tears watching this movie, man. You could tell that the people that he killed in that church were great people, because, man, everybody, all the families were such amazing people. And for something like that to happen, and your first response, your first comment, your first words that you say is that you forgive, it's like, it takes a brave and courageous person. That I could never do that. I mean, it's really incredible. And President Obama's in this movie doing a really moving speech. I think he does a speech at the actual church after everything happens. And yeah, man, this is one of those documentaries that I'll keep in my collection forever. It's a really, really moving story, and it really struck me right in the heart, man. I mean, it's an incredible story. And I didn't know, like, South Carolina was like a major hub. It was like the largest hub of slaves back in the slave days. Like 40% of the slaves that came into the United States came in through South Carolina. So the roots of racism run deeper in South Carolina than probably any other state in the United States. So, it all plays a part in the story that the director tells Stephen Curry of what happened to this community. So yeah, man, I would highly recommend this movie to you guys. All right, back to horror movies. Let's show this one off really quick. You know, I'm just asking for it, picking up this stuff. I mean, I just know these movies are going to be terrible. But I got lucky with that one. I think we showed it in the beginning of this video. I might have cut it out. I'm not sure. I think it's like, it says 10 most wanted movies. One of those movies was really exceptional on that one. So it led me to pick this one up, hoping that I could find a hidden gem for you guys to talk about in the next video. I watched none of these movies. Again, I ran out of time on this video. I wanted to get this video out to you guys. We have, let me read off the movies here. Fifth in Alameda, Bad Reputation, Death by Engagement, Hot Ice, Circle of Fury, Once Upon a Time in the Hood. I'm sure that's a great one. Trunk. I'm probably going to check out Trunk first. 420 High Desert Way, Bad Things Gone Worse. That's a horrible name. Twist of Fate. So yeah, man, pure adrenaline action movies. 10 of them. All right. Next up here. All right, 2 more movies from Dollar Tree, and then we'll get into my Goodwill finds, and then we'll get into movies that I highly recommend you guys watch that I purchased off of Amazon. Excuse me. All right, next up here, Rendel. I've been seeing this for the last couple of drops. I've been very hesitant on picking it up, but I've recently found myself to be a fan of not blockbuster superhero movies, but indie flick superhero movies. I'll just put it to you that way. This is a 2018, and this is what? This is not Scream Factory, but this is Shout Studios. And who is this released by? Raven Banner Entertainment, I guess. But yeah, I only watched the beginning of this. I mean, I'm telling you right now, the actual superhero is really cool. He's all dressed in black. He kind of looks like Batman, but like an evil Batman looking character without the ears. And maybe you can see him in the back there. Well, actually, you see him right here on the front. What the hell am I talking about? But again, this is a Finnish movie from Finland. And a brutal, dark adventure is born when a worldwide corporation known as Vala launches an untested vaccine into the market by bribing, threatening, or killing every official in opposition. Rendel unleashes his own special kind of hell against Vala, threatening to put an end to the distribution of the vaccine. That's all I'll read on it. But it actually looks pretty good. And it's gotten some mixed reviews, but some of the reviews are pretty good on it. So I look forward to checking this out. And in the next video, we'll talk about Rendel. Oh yeah, you know what? I think this has, yeah, it's got some back art on there. Nothing on the back of behind the disc, but there you go. A little bit of cool back art. All right, next up here, guys. I started watching the beginning of this. All I'm going to tell you guys is this is one just nasty, grotesque, like people pissing on each other, throw up, innards, guts flying everywhere, just nasty type of film. This is a 2015. It says RLJ. What is going on with that? What happened to the E? So I don't know what's going on with that. It just says RLJ release. And the special features on this is cast interviews and script reading. Something called a watch-in, 42nd Street mode, live audience commentary, TV's Entertainment Tonight Canada on-set interview with Dylan Penn. Okay, so synopsis here. Fed up with her parents, bickering, poor little rich girl Maya, who's played by Dylan Penn, moves in with her boyfriend, who is squatting in an old condemned building on Manhattan's Lower East Side. Sounds like good times, right? Good times. All right. With neighbors that are meth heads, junkies, and degenerates, with depraved hellhole is even more toxic than it appears after a virus born from their combined noxious waste and garbage infects the building's residents. One by one, they succumb to a terrifying pathogen that turns them into a bloodthirsty, rampaging killers and transforms their body into a savage slaughterhouse. I mean, it sounds fucking incredible. And it's kind of cool how they do it. Like, people are dumping, like, their pills into drains and dumping, like, this one guy has set up, like, a meth lab, and he's pouring his chemicals down the drains. And, all right, sorry about that, guys. I ran out of space on my phone as usual. But anyway, yeah, it's got this cool thing where, like, all the apartments and the tents are connected through the sink drains, and they actually take the cameras and they do these, I mean, they don't take the cameras, but it's like these camera effects where you're traveling through the drains into the next units. And so, I mean, I thought that was well done. Again, I only watched like 15 minutes of this movie, but it seems like it'd be a disgustingly so bad it's a good movie, but I don't know. It got pretty bad reviews, but I'm going to give it a chance, and we'll talk about it in the next video. Condemned. Let's see if we got... Yeah, we do have some cover art promoting some other movies from RLJ, not RLJE. Again, I don't know what's going on with that. We have a Christmas horror story, Digging Up the Morrow, House that October Built, and our house, yeah, the house is October Built, Wolf Creek 2, Wolf Cop, lots of good movies there. All right, so that is it for the Dollar Tree stuff, guys. I need to hurry up because I need to get home and take care of some business. All right, so here's the Goodwill pickups. We have a double feature here, and it's got Poker Run on there, which I guess is some biker type of run that happens every year. And that came out in 2009. And then we have Midnight Movie, which I think I have on another compilation. I'm not sure. I might have seen that movie before. But anyway, Poker Run, weekend bikers, Robert and Alan are plunged into a world of horrifying violence when their women are abducted by a pair of psychopathic bikers during a motorcycle rally. That's all I'll read on that one. And then Midnight Movie at a seedy theater in a sleepy suburban town. A group of friends get together for a midnight screening of an early 1970s horror film, unaware that the director, star of the film, has something more in store for them than an evening of innocent jolts. So yeah, might have seen that before, but not certain on that. But it's kind of a cool double feature. I've never seen it out there in the wild before. Again, next video I'll do a review on those, and yeah, we'll talk about them then. And then this was a cool pickup, guys. I seen this sell recently as much as $50, and to get that for $4.99 at Goodwill was really cool. Now the case was destroyed on the one that I picked up. It was broken up here, it was broken down there, it was missing pieces. The tabs inside of it were all fucked up. Okay, that's popping out. So I found another case that'll do it justice until I get a different case, but it's wrong turn 1 and 6. I got a clear case just like the one it came in, but I had to put it, this is like a 4 film case, so I had to fit 5 on this one. This one barely fits on, but it works. And then I put this in a little plastic deal here. So yeah, we have 6 wrong turn movies. I'm a big fan of the wrong turn movies, man. I think there's only one movie that I thought was bad to the point where it was like, all right, this movie kind of sucks. The rest of the movies I enjoyed. I thought the first wrong turn is is decent, but it's nothing insanely crazy. Hold on one second, guys. The second Wrong Turn movie is probably my favorite in the franchise. I've talked about that many times. And I thought Wrong Turn 3 was pretty good. Wrong Turn 4, Bloody Beginnings, I think is the one that I didn't like. And then Wrong Turn 5 is done in a an abandoned hospital. I enjoyed that one. And I cannot remember if I've seen Wrong Turn 6, which is right there. So I might be checking this one out tonight. And I'll let you guys know what I thought about that movie. So yeah, really cool set here, guys. The Wrong Turn franchise. All right, last two movies here. All right, so I've seen both of these movies in the last couple of years, guys, on streaming services, and I fell in love with both of the movies. This is a tight white high recommend here, guys. Not high, I highly recommend these movies. This is a major tight white recommend here. So first up here, we have Red, White, and Blue. This is a 2010 IFC Midnight release. I wish I would have wrote down the actors' names. The guy right here does a really good job in this movie. I really liked his acting performance in the movie. And I'll just explain this one myself. I won't read the synopsis off the back of it. So there's a girl in the movie. You can see her right there. She's a, she's running the streets. She's promiscuous. You find out later on in the movie that she has AIDS. And she was molested or raped by her, I can't remember if it was her dad or uncle. Something terrible happened to her. And now she's trying to get back at society, or no, she's trying to get back at men. And so she's having sex with like every man that walks, right? And she doesn't let them use condoms. She's trying to give everybody AIDS, which is really horrific in itself, right? So she meets this guy, and well, first of all, she meets this guy in a rock band at a bar, or they're like a garage band trying to make it big and stuff. And she has sex with the whole band. And later on in the movie, you find out that no one got AIDS except for like the head of the band. And he's like a side character, but he's like one of the main characters in the story. And incidentally, his mother is dying of cancer, but she's in remission. And, the doctor gives him some good news at some point. And then you find out that he's giving blood to his mother. And as it turns out, he's given her AIDS. So now he goes on this search to find her, because he's the only person, or she's the only person that he had sex with without a condom, because he has a girlfriend that he's engaged to, I think. And that's the only person that he's cheated. So he knows it's her. So him and his boys start searching for her. They finally find her. But let me backtrack here. So in her apartment complex, there's a guy, that guy right there, the one that I said did a great acting performance. He's there and he's infatuated with her, but he's like a total gentleman. Like there's one scene where she's like, she hates him at first. She doesn't want to talk to him. He does nothing but treat her kindly. He's not trying to have sex with her. She even like at one point sleeps in his bed because she needs somewhere. I don't know what's going on, but she's like, she wants to sleep in their bed and just coddle, and he doesn't even try to do anything to her. He's a total stand-up gentleman. And so that's the story with him. But he's an ex-Iraq military guy who went through some crazy shit in Iraq. And later on you find out that he's one of those interrogators. So he's a sociopath. Let me just put it to you that way. So he has a good side and he has a bad side. So anyway, this rock band finds the girl, and the guy who got AIDS tells all them they're at this abandoned house and basically kidnaps her, and he tells them to leave, and he's there by himself. And he ends up having sex with her, and she's talking all kinds of crazy stuff, saying, will you marry me? And it's this whole weird scene. Next thing you know, he ends up I'm spoiling this, guys. I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to spoil this one. Skip past this if you don't want this spoiled. But, well, I'll just put you this way. He does some really bad shit to her. And unbeknownst to the person, anyone that's watching the movie, me at the time when I'm watching the movie, and this guy, well, the sociopath who's the gentleman guy, the ex-Iraq military person, was actually engaged to her at that time, but they don't show that in the movie. You have no clue. So they kidnap her from a bar, and he ends up finding one of their credit cards, or something happens where he ends up tracking them down. And one by one, and let me tell you something, I'd rather have Rambo track me down for revenge. I'd rather have Commando. This is the worst person to ever track you down. And you know how American films try to stay away from kid murders and stuff like that, like killing children? This movie don't give a fuck, man. So I'll tell you one scene in the movie. He's looking for one of the people that kidnapped her, and he finds their parents, or the person's parents, and it's the mother, the father, and like his kid sister, who can't be more than like 10 years old. And he duct tapes them all to chairs, and he says, you're gonna give me the information. I want to know where your son is. I want to know where, I'm sorry, no, one of the guys is actually his friend, which is the bar owner where he works at. And so it's his friend's wife and their kid. So he duct tapes them all to chairs and says, I want to know where the girl is. And just so happens, after that friend, I'll just tell you, the guy who she gave AIDS to ends up murdering her, kills her, stabs her to death with a knife. So the friend of his tries to hide this, and they take part of her body, and they put her body like in different spots, but like half of her body's in the trunk of his car. So when he duct tapes them together, sorry if I'm mixing things up. So when he duct tapes them together, or to the chairs, he says, I'm gonna kill your daughter. So he takes the duct tape off his mouth, and he immediately says, okay, I'm gonna tell you where her body is, and it's actually in the trunk of her car. So he goes outside, opens the trunk, and sees her, and then he's just enraged, and he goes inside, and he starts sticking the daughter with the fucking knife through the duct tape, through her stomach and her chest, like just stabbing the shit out of her. And it's like, man, it is rough, guys. And then there's this other scene where he's like literally ripping the skin off of someone's body. I'm telling you, this is a dark fucking film. It really blew my mind back when I watched it. I rewatched it again, and it blew my mind just as much, guys. This is a must-see. I highly recommend this movie to you. You gotta check this one out, man. Definitely check this movie out. Red, White, and Blue, man. Wow, this is a fucking killer movie. All right, get a sip here. We'll talk about the last movie. All right, now, your boy Tight White fucked up. I ordered the German version of the movie, so I can't even watch this fucking movie. I don't even know if I'm going to return it. It was my fault. Why make the eBay seller give him a hassle? I mean, I'll just keep it. It wasn't that expensive. Maybe I'll give it away to somebody. I don't know anybody from Germany, though, and I'm not sending it. I'm not paying $50 to ship this out, but anyway, this is a movie. This is a 2018 release called Look Away, starring Mira Sorvino, and she's amazing in the movie. India Isley and Jason Isaacs. Let me set this one up. This movie blew me away, man. This might have blown me away more than Red, White, and Blue, and you saw how I praised that movie. So I never hear anyone ever talk about this movie, number one. Now, in this movie, so what happens is this family is ultra rich, right? Elite society. And you find out as the movie goes on that the daughter had a twin sister, but she died at birth. Okay, so she died during birth. Okay, so she never existed. Like, she literally died at birth. So you find out that she's actually a spirit still. But the only way to see this spirit, or the only place this spirit exists, is in the reflections of Mira Savina, or her character. So when she looks in the mirror, she's actually looking at her deceased sister. Now that right there is fucking is genius. Like, I am sold already. I love the premise of the movie. And she's going through all kinds of things in school. So she's getting bullied in school, and she's going through all kinds of shit at home. And she's just having a problem dealing as a young teenager. She's, she's growing up, and she's going through puberty and stuff like that. And she cannot handle it. And at one point, early on in the movie, she does something in her mirror, in the reflection. She turns one way, and her reflection turns the other way. And that's when she finds out that it's not her, that it's her the spirit of her deceased sister is in the reflection of the mirror. And then she begins to talk to her. And then they start to have a rapport with each other. And then her spirit tells her, I know you're going through a hard time right now. I can save everything. If you just say so and say that you want me to replace you, you will be on the other side of the mirror, and I will be in the real world, and I'll solve all of your problems, and then we can go back and we can switch sides again. And she doesn't know how evil she is. So she does this, and they switch. And now the bullies at school doesn't know that this is an evil spirit. Her family doesn't know this is an evil spirit. I'm telling you guys, this is one hell of a fucking movie. And there's this weird thing going on with her dad and her, like some perverted, like odd shit in this movie. I can't remember exactly because I couldn't watch it again because this is the German movie. But I remember something being creepy about their relationship. And yeah, man, I don't want to give any more away, but this is one hell of a fucking movie, man. I am telling you right now, this movie will blow your mind. I cannot wait to see it again. I actually ordered this on DVD. As soon as I found out that I couldn't get an American Blu-ray release of this, I ordered it on DVD. And so I should be getting that real soon. And yeah, man, this one really, really blew my mind. Comes with some movie promotions there. Jeepers Creepers collection. I didn't even know. Oh yeah, I did know that existed. A Blu-ray of all three of those movies. A Mermaid. I think I heard good things about that Mermaid movie. Speaking of Western horror, Winchester. I still haven't seen that. It does have some back art on here. But yeah, don't be a dummy like me and order the German, I don't know, Region B or Region C, whatever fucking region it is. I fucked up on that. But yeah, man, look away in red, white, and blue. You have to check out these movies, man. All right, guys, that's it. Thanks for checking out the video. And yeah, good luck out there finding whatever physical media that you're looking for. And I'll check you guys out in the next video. Break some windows. Peace out, guys.